a quick tutorial on U-turns. I think being able to control your motorcycle at slow speeds is very important, and in a way more important than fast, because fast isn't really that hard. You just add more throttle, and the bike is fairly stable at high speeds. As a matter of fact, the faster you go, especially in a straight line, the more stable it is. So it's actually easier to drive quickly in a straight line than it is slowly in some kind of a curvy line maneuvering. However, in order to avoid accidents, most of the time you need to maneuver. You don't generally avoid an accident by going straight and fast. Sometimes you can get out of the way, but that's not how to avoid it. Now, obviously, a U-turn is not necessarily going to avoid accident, but it might just give you some more confidence as far as how to manage the bike. So I'm in first gear now. I'm going to dip in a little bit here, and as I turn, I'm actually putting pressure on the back brake, so that I'm applying pressure here on the big brake pedal. Not enough to stop the bike, because I'm also adding throttle, and I'm controlling the clutch actuator here, the lever, clutch lever. And the reason for this is the bike is not only more stable at high speeds, but it's also more stable at higher RPMs. The motor speed matters. And also, I'm not looking at that truck or the curb. I'm looking where I want to go, and even past where I want to go. Maybe I want to go up here, but as I get close to here, I don't keep looking over there. I start to look over here, and peripherally, my target is on that side, of course. It's a little trickier for me on this side, because I live where most of my left turns, most of my U-turns are left turns, so I practice that a lot more, just in general. I very rarely make a U-turn to the right, but as you can see, I just did it. Also check what your environment might be. And as you start to feel like I'm going too slow and it might fail, that was a little wobbly, see what I mean, on the right side. As you start to feel like you might go too slow and you might fail, the answer isn't slow down. In this case, the answer is add more throttle, because not only will it speed up the motor RPM, which helps stabilizes the bike, but it'll increase your general motorcycle speed. You know, you're going from 2 miles an hour to 5 miles an hour, whatever it is. You're just making a U-turn. It's not a complicated, fast thing. You know, your whole thing happens in probably less than 1 mile an hour. So, speeding up the bike also, as we just established and we all know, stabilizes the bike. So, adding speed as you're feeling like it's getting a little bit too slow and you're feeling a little bit of wobble, add more throttle. You can continue to step on the brake, and you're controlling the clutch here at the same time. But you're not just pulling it all the way in, you're feathering it out, feathering it in depending on what you feel you need. That helps a lot with stabilizing the bike, and because I think people in general don't have a lot of confidence with these slow maneuvers. And there's really no reason not to. You're going slow, but the bike is because the bike is more unstable at slow speeds. You know, it's easy to tip it over, drop it, whatever. So that was a quick little tutorial. I hope that helped a little bit. The way to do it is to approach it at a steady speed. You want a steady throttle, but it's going to be a low throttle. You know, this isn't a race. And you're using basically all your controls, except for your front brake. Never touch the front brake, by the way. because at that slow speed, it'll take literally only a feather of application to stop your momentum, because you're going so slow. There's not that much to do. You could put your foot down and stop the bike if you really wanted to. So that's kind of my basic idea of how to do these things, and just trying to help out people who want to get a little bit more slow speed control. Now, I'm not saying do what I'm telling you to do. I'm just telling you this is what I do. You can do whatever you want. If you do something, if you do the U-turn and it's always consistent and it's always smooth and you feel very confident about it, and you do it a completely different way, fine. Do it your way, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm just telling people what I use, and maybe you can use some of the techniques combined with what you've already learned or what you like you doing, and see if that works for you. Practice, of course. And another thing, I would practice doing this on a bicycle if you have it. If you thought that was useful or helpful or funny or something good, like and subscribe. And even if you didn't like it, or you hated it, or you already knew everything, like and subscribe anyways. What the hell?